Have you ever heard the saying that kindness has a way of coming back to you when you least expect it? Well, today, I'm about to tell you a story that will touch your heart, make you hold back tears, and remind you that even the smallest act of compassion can change a life forever. So stay with me until the end, because you'll want to see the incredible twist this story takes. A broken bar. It was a quiet afternoon in a little neighborhood on the edge of the city. The sun shone warmly, birds hopped from wire to wire, and the streets were calm except for the occasional hum of passing cars. In this neighborhood lived a 14-year-old boy named Malik. Malik was no stranger to struggle. He lived with his mother and younger sister in a small apartment that barely fit the three of them. His father had left years ago, and his mother worked long shifts at a diner, scraping together enough money to keep the lights on and food on the table. Life wasn't easy, but Malik was determined to stay strong for his mom and little sister. That afternoon, Malik had just come back from helping his mom at the diner. His school books were still in his backpack, but his first instinct wasn't to study up, it was to make sure his sister, Nia, had eaten. Malik had grown up fast, forced into responsibility beyond his years. While other boys his age were playing video games or hanging out at the mall, Malik was learning how to cook rice, fold laundry, and tuck his sister into bed. Still, he never complained. He carried his struggles with quiet dignity, believing that someday, if he worked hard enough, life would get better. But fate had something very unexpected in store for him that day. On his way back from the corner store, where he'd gone to buy some milk, Malik noticed an elderly man standing at the edge of the street. The man looked lost, confused, and oddly fragile, as though the world around him had suddenly become unfamiliar. He was dressed neatly, with pressed pants and a button-up shirt, but his hands trembled as he clutched a small, worn leather wallet. He kept looking in one direction, then the other, as though searching for something or someone. Malik slowed down, studying him. Something wasn't right. Children and adults passed by, some glancing at the man, others ignoring him completely. But Malik's feet stopped moving. His heart tugged at him, urging him to check on the stranger. He walked over cautiously. "Excuse me, sir, a broken bar, are you okay?" Malik asked gently. The man looked up at him with weary eyes. They were blue-gray, like storm clouds, filled with both confusion and fear. He opened his mouth, then hesitated. "Yeah, broken bar, I'm trying to get home," he murmured, his voice shaky. "About a broken bar, I can't seem to remember where that is." Malik frowned. He had heard about illnesses like this before, via Alzheimer's, memory loss that made people forget where they were, even who they were at times. He'd seen videos online about people struggling with it, but he had never seen it up close. And here, right in front of him, was a man who could have been someone's grandfather, completely alone, lost in his own mind. Most kids his age might have been scared, or maybe walked away thinking it wasn't their problem, but not Malik. Something inside him refused to leave the man standing there confused and helpless. "Do you have someone I can call?" Malik asked, glancing at the wallet the man was holding. The old man fumbled, opening it slowly. Inside was a faded photograph of a young woman holding a baby, along with some crumpled bills and an ID card. Malik carefully took the card. The man's name was Henry Lawson. "Mr. Lawson," Malik said softly, "don't worry, I'll help you get home. We'll figure this out together." Henry's lips trembled, and he nodded slowly, like a child reassured by a comforting word. For a brief moment, his eyes softened, as though Malik's kindness had lit a small flame in the fog of his confusion. So Malik took it upon himself to guide Henry. He asked him simple questions: what street he thought he lived on, if he recognized any buildings. But each answer was hesitant, sometimes contradictory. Malik didn't give up. He walked with Henry down block after block, stopping at small shops and asking the store owners if they recognized him. Some shook their heads. Others said he looked familiar but couldn't place him. Hours passed, but Malik never complained. He stayed by Henry's side, holding his arm when he stumbled, listening patiently when he repeated the same story about the photograph in his wallet, how the baby was his granddaughter, how she had the most beautiful laugh. Malik smiled each time, responding as though it were the first time he'd heard it. At one point, Henry's confusion deepened. and tears welled in his eyes. "Yeah, broken bar, I don't know where I am. I feel so lost," he whispered. Without thinking twice, Malik gently placed his hand on the man's shoulder. "It's okay, you're not alone. I'm here. We'll figure it out together." That moment, something remarkable happened. For a second, Henry's eyes cleared, and he looked at Malik not as a stranger, but almost like family. His lips curved into a faint smile, and he squeezed Malik's hand. "You're a good boy," he said softly. Eventually, after asking around at a local pharmacy, Malik found someone who recognized Henry. The pharmacist explained that Henry lived a few blocks away with a caretaker, but sometimes he wandered off because of his Alzheimer's. Relieved, Malik guided Henry carefully to the address. When they arrived, a middle-aged woman opened the door. Henry's daughter. Her face went pale with worry when she saw him. "Dad, oh my God, where have you been?" She rushed to embrace him, her eyes brimming with tears. Malik explained everything: how he'd found Henry, how he had stayed with him and walked him for hours until he got back safely. The woman was overwhelmed with gratitude. She hugged Malik tightly, thanking him over and over. "You have no idea what you've done." If something had happened to him out there, broken bar, her voice broke. Thank you so much." Malik simply smiled. "I'm just glad he's safe." He didn't ask for money. He didn't ask for anything. In fact, he excused himself politely, saying he needed to get home before his mother worried. That night, Malik sat on the small couch in his apartment, telling his mother and sister about what had happened. His mother looked at him with tears in her eyes. "You've got a heart of gold, Malik. Never lose that." Malik smiled faintly. To him, it wasn't a big deal. He had simply done what felt right, but little did he know that small act of kindness would change his life forever. Because only hours later, when the evening sky was dark and stars began to shine, Malik heard the sound of an engine outside. Not just any engine, it was deep, smooth, and powerful. Curious, he peeked through the window and froze. A sleek black luxury car had pulled up right in front of his apartment building. Its polished surface gleamed under the streetlights, the kind of car Malik had only ever seen in movies or on billboards. Slowly, the driver's door, the rumble of the luxury car's engine echoed through the quiet street, drawing curious glances from neighbors peering out of their windows. Malik's heart pounded in his chest as he stood frozen by the window, staring at the sleek black machine parked in front of his humble apartment building. He had never seen anything like it this close. The car's headlights dimmed, the engine cut off, and the silence that followed was heavy with mystery. Who could that be? His mother whispered, stepping beside him, wiping her tired hands on her apron. His little sister clutched the hem of Malik's shirt, her big eyes wide with wonder. The driver's door opened slowly. Out stepped a man in a tailored suit, his polished shoes clicking against the pavement. His hair was neat, his expression unreadable, and in his hand he held something, an envelope. He glanced around before his gaze landed on Malik's building. Without hesitation, he walked toward the door. Malik felt his stomach twist nervously. He wasn't used to strangers coming by, especially ones dressed like this. A lump formed in his throat as he heard the knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. His mother hesitated, then opened it cautiously. The man gave a polite nod. "Good evening. I'm looking for Malik. Does he live here?" Malik's heart jumped. "You a broken bar, that's me," he said, stepping forward. The man studied him carefully. Then his serious expression softened. "My name is Richard Lawson. I'm Henry Lawson's son." The moment Malik heard the name, everything clicked. Mr. Lawson, the old man he had helped earlier that day. Malik's chest loosened with relief, but he still didn't understand. "Oh, a broken bar? Yes, sir. I found your father earlier today and walked him home." Richard's eyes glimmered with emotion. "Yes, my sister told me everything. Malik, a broken bar? You don't know what you did for my family today. My father, his condition has been worsening. He's wandered off before, but told they a broken bar today he was farther than he's ever gone. If you hadn't helped him, I don't even want to imagine what could have happened." Malik shrugged humbly. his cheeks heating. I just wanted to make sure he was safe. But Richard shook his head. Number, it's more than that. You showed him kindness when so many others would have walked away. That means everything. Then Richard held up the envelope. This is for you. Malik blinked. What is it? Consider it a token of gratitude. From me, from my sister, and most of all, from my father. Slowly, Malik's mother took the envelope and opened it. Inside was a thick stack of cash, more money than Malik had ever seen in his life. His mother gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. Malik's eyes widened in shock. Yeah, I can't accept this, he stammered, shaking his head. I didn't help him for money. Richard smiled faintly. I know, that's exactly why you deserve it. But if it makes you uncomfortable, don't think of it as a reward. Think of it as an opportunity. Malik frowned. Opportunity? Richard nodded. I looked into you. You're a hard-working young man, taking care of your family. That says a lot about your character. Malik, my family believes in supporting young people with potential, and I think you have something very rare: compassion. That's something money can't buy. I want to help you build a future with it. Malik's throat tightened. He didn't know what to say. His mother stepped forward, her eyes shining with tears. Sierra broken bar, we don't know how to thank you. Richard smiled warmly. You've already done enough. Just keep being who you are. Then he handed Malik a small card. This has my number. Call me tomorrow. I want to discuss something bigger than just money. With that, Richard tipped his head politely, returned to the luxury car, and drove off, leaving Malik and his family standing in stunned silence on the doorstep. Opened.